Alright guys, so you could check our video out from yesterday, which was our spoiler-free review, where we really tried to refrain and hold back the hate. That is not this video. We're going to tell you everything that didn't work and that did work.
Which was nothing.
So strap in, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, Rob, so we kind of talked a little bit with the crew, I think, kind of being nameless faces throughout the course of the movie. Let's start talking about James Franco. How did you think he worked or didn't work in this movie?
Well, I think the key word is work, because he literally didn't work because he wasn't in it.
He had no work. As an actor, he had no work in this movie.
He dies in his cryotube. Very first thing, dies in his cryotube. His only real line in the movie is through a video that she watches.
His wife watches. He said more in the prologue than he said in this movie.
Let's talk about the prologue. Ominous thing that he was sick when going into cryo sleep. That played zero part.
Yeah, we mentioned that after we broke down The Last Supper.
I mean, to me, I don't understand why they would go out and get James Franco to play this role at all.
What I feel like I dislike the most about this is, all right, we know it affects Daniels early. That's his wife. Heartbroken. She finds a way to kind of push through and keep doing her job. Doesn't do anything to move her character forward or give her an interesting arc. They have this little thing with building a cabin that is mentioned a couple times throughout the movie.
The cabin thing is like the big crux of their relationship. It's also used as a reveal that we'll get into later.
I feel like that wasn't for her character. That was for the reveal. That way, I feel like it's pointless for her.
Right.
So it doesn't do anything to enhance her character, and she's the lead character of the movie.
Yeah,
I thought her acting was great. I just think that character was so flat. She didn't do anything for the movie.
As a Ripley knockoff, she rates pretty low.
She rates pretty low. I also wanted to get into a little bit of Billy Crudup's character.
Sure.
First of all, he's running a terrible crew. These have to be some of the worst scientists in the history. I mean, if this is the best we can put forward.
Seriously.
I mean, they're dipping their heads over alien life, dying like through the same poor decision making over and over.
Yeah. Billy Crudup, David, is telling him, oh yeah, look inside the egg. I have something in there for you.
As he peeks at this egg, there's like a thing that slimes through. He's like, he's hugged.
Face hugged. Literally at that point in the movie, the theater was laughing.
But that wasn't the first time we saw that. The guy dip his head over the spores and he gets infected. The guy dip his head over another set of spores, he gets infected. Then Billy Crudup's character dips his head over the egg and he gets face hugged. Stop doing that! Right. Some guy just raises his hand and says, don't do that anymore. I'm going to tell you, it's a bad experience, don't do that.
If we've learned anything from Rick and Morty, it's that comedy comes in threes.
Back to Billy Crudup.
Right.
Such a poorly developed character. They hint at his faith. His faith is so strong. That's why people don't like him, because he's such a faith believer.
Yeah.
It's a generic plot ploy to try to make you feel something for him, which is so weak.
They go through that pointing out of his supposed oppression. He should have been picked. That scene with David where it's like, so I met the devil once.
Did?
You did? How? Where?
I was not aware of this.
It went literally nowhere. There was no point, unless there's some sort of deleted scene somewhere that explains that he touched inappropriately by a neighbor or something like, what is this? I don't know.
You couldn't get behind them because things came off corny.
Yeah.
They just didn't work. There wasn't enough there.
And another thing that The Great Lie did was sell us on the fact that this was going to be an alien movie in space.
That's kind of that's what you associate when you hear alien movie.
Yeah, all the marketing showed the ship, fast-paced action, the horror of the ship.
The death in the shower scene, like that's the kind of deaths you want to see.
No, about, not even through the first act, you end up on the engineer's planet, and that's pretty much where you stay until about the last 15 minutes of the movie.
And there's just so much with the planet that I thought didn't work. Rob, tell me why there's wheat on this planet.
David doesn't eat. Where did he get wheat? What's the point of there even being wheat?
There's no other life. There's no birds, no life. You don't hear anything.
They never explain it. They never explain it. It's just, here's this ominous wheat.
We have the ship being crashed. I'm guessing it's the Prometheus ship, right?
The engineers, yeah. Supposedly these movies are prequels and they are pushing towards Alien. When they walk up onto this ship, it is positioned very much like it is on LV-426. So you start thinking, okay, is that what this is? No, that's not what this is at all. Is it eventually going to become that? That planet looks literally nothing like LV-426.
Yeah. At the end. I don't think they're going to go back. Why did it crash then? Or why has it been crashed? Why is it where it's at? As we find out later, though, David's ship didn't crash.
Yeah.
So he must have crashed it on purpose. Well, why?
Right.
And we don't know. Again, we don't know. Like you said, it's just to make it look like it could be from aliens.
Right.
But it's not, so why? One of the, I guess, life forms we do see on this planet is the airborne virus of the Xenomorph, which which from what I've heard was a scrapped idea from Alien 3.
You want to know why it was scrapped? Because it's dumb. I don't understand how that even remotely works biologically. This little amoeba type thing goes into your ear, an alien gestates in your body. How does that even remotely make sense?
And again, it's within hours that there's this microbe that can go in your ear. It's so small you don't even feel it.
Yeah.
To where it's a xenomorph coming out of your back.
The whole timeline of gestation periods make no sense.
There's also the storyline of the people who are on the ship above the planet too. They're trying to get down to possibly save their friends who get kind of stranded there.
Yeah.
There's like 15 minutes to go to these people, like, how close can we get to the storm? We can't get too close to the storm. The ship will break. Well, once they decide that they're gonna man up, they're gonna go through the storm. That's it. With that story, they just get through it. They make it through scot-free. And I just felt like that was so stupid.
Yeah. Right, yeah, it's just forced suspense. It's like the decision making is the drama, the actual act is just nothing. It's very disappointing to find that the Xenomorph isn't even the real enemy of this movie.
The monster of this movie is David.
Right.
Not the Xenomorph.
Right.
And they set that up from scene 1. I guess the way they kind of reveal it, kind of tying it into this planet, because they go to the engineer planet, and within 5 minutes of getting there, David basically eradicates the entire engineer species. But I guess cleaned up storyline-wise for Ridley Scott, kind of eliminates some of the convolutedness there. You then later reveal, which I think a lot of people at that point probably light bulbs started going off, that he kills Elizabeth Shaw, right? The character from Prometheus that survived. But like, you don't have a character survive a movie and then kill her off between sequels.
You mean like Newt?
But they did. So I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a good way to do storytelling. But yeah, because David is the creator of the Xenomorph. He's been biologically messing with their species, playing around, crossbreeding.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just totally get his motivations. I don't know if it aligns with the David that I thought we had in Prometheus.
This whole notion of his disappointment in Wayland, I think that's what they're really trying to play up in this second movie, and I don't think I necessarily got that in the first movie. In the first 5 minutes, that's what they're kind of trying to sell you.
And I just think it makes his journey here foggy. I couldn't tell if he was mad at the engineers for creating human or maybe being a creator of life. As
Ridley Scott, I think, ham-fistedly tried to explain in an interview post-Prometheus, Jesus was an engineer.
And if you didn't get that, you weren't paying attention.
Nobody would have gotten that because it doesn't make any sense. That's just him trying to fill in more plot holes, crap that he can't explain.
He didn't have the prologue to do this.
You're right, exactly. If you take that into account, yes, I guess David could look at the engineers being the creators of life, the god figures and all of that. He is on their planet now. He has eradicated them. Now he sees himself as the creator, which is why he has created the Xenomorph. Which offensive to all true Alien fans.
I was going to say, like, why, as an Alien fan, as you are, like, was it due to the lore of the Xenomorph?
I mean, I think it's ridiculous, and again, we've talked about this in other movies. The big thing that everybody has to do now is explain why something is the way it is. Like, they really have to expand on this backstory and give it this reason why an alien species likes to kill other alien species. Like, we need that. Like, David creating the Xenomorph, all of a sudden, that's why they're a hostile organism. It means nothing. It has no effect, no bearing.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's just a reason for the studio to make another movie and call it Alien.
Like, it's not good enough reason for just a species to be hostile, because those don't exist in real life.
Right, exactly.
So you have to create a backstory, which ends up just being weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It feels forced. It feels weird. And again, it's,
disappointing.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And Rob, not only is David the creator of the Xenomorphs, apparently he's their mother/god. They like bow to him of some sort.
In all of the Alien films, and there have been some pretty cringeworthy moments in the later Alien films, I don't think I have cringed as hard as I did when we first saw the true Xenomorph do the cornholio to David.
A lot of people did.
In my face.
People were laughing.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely laughing. It was one of the worst moments, maybe for me, in cinematic history.
I think this movie did the best job at making the Xenomorphs look stupid. I think the CGI of the baby white ones was complete trash.
Oh yeah, no, it was horrible.
Terribly distractingly bad. I just thought there were some really bad moments for the Xenomorph. And they're barely in this movie.
Well, and it doesn't make any sense because if David creates these things, he has created these eggs. Where did the queen come from? Where does the queen come from? Like, eventually a queen, is that just some sort of evolution that he just hasn't, like,
got to
perfected yet? But that doesn't make sense.
He'll explain it.
Yeah.
Give Ridley time.
Right.
The queen will be what kills David in 3, and that's where they go from there.
Head hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah, so a lot of work to be done here. David then didn't work for me.
No, David didn't work at all.
Did the ending work? Did they save it with a cool ending?
No, not at all. We had a real Xenomorph, and we did make it back to the ship. Still, there's some really iffy stuff about gestation periods and all that type of stuff.
There was a cool shower scene. Which they did show us in the trailer.
Yeah, which was really the majority of the action on the ship scenes come from these last 10, 15 minutes of the movie. I feel like so few movies sell the entire movie on all your footage from your third act.
David cuts his hair midway through the movie to look like Walter, which I think at that point was a real big cue that he was going to switch places with Walter.
Yeah, it was. They telegraphed that hard.
I just find it so weird that nobody realized it was him. I just thought there were opportunities to realize there's Xenomorphs on the ship. David probably had something to do with it, and this isn't Walter.
Well, you had the confrontation between Walter and David. David stabs Walter in the throat. It heals, and Walter comes back.
Regenerate.
Yeah, and then they have the another fight, to which I guess Walter didn't win. When they got onto the ship, and David is Walter is stapling his face together. Catherine Waterston really had no idea what was going on. She didn't know that Walter could regenerate, and that this apparently wasn't Walter.
I think the machine you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you're going to know its capabilities. Oh, what does it do? What can it not do? So if it can regenerate, which it can, I think you would know that.
Gaping plot hole. The reveal at the end, which we were talking about earlier, the cabin, that's the reveal. Walter had promised after James Franco's early death, he would help her build the cabin. And she gets into the cryo tube. David reveals himself by not knowing what the hell she's talking about. If he's so smart, was able to put all of this together, he couldn't think to just answer simple question that he could probably tell he should probably know the answer to. Oh, will you help me build my cabin, right? Huh?
That's it. I don't know how to answer this. I'm not programmed to do this.
Right? That part is a really kind of lame reveal. It was saw it 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Him puking up the alien embryos.
That's how he got him on the ship. He stuck him up his butt.
So we'll see what the next movie brings.
I will not see.
Yeah, I
Make it if you want, but I will not see it.
I'm probably with you on that. If they won't call it Prometheus 3, whatever the next alien movie is, I will not be watching it. Thank you, Ridley Scott.
What will make you watch it?
If Ridley Scott is not involved whatsoever after walking out of Alien Covenant, I was not any more excited about the fact that Ridley Scott was not involved in Blade Runner 2049 than I was at that moment. Thanking the engineers that Denis Villeneuve is in control of Blade Runner 2049.
All right, guys. Well, it's pretty obvious me and Robbie were pretty thoroughly disappointed with this movie. If you think we're way off base and you saw some highlights...
Do you wish Ridley Scott would stop making alien movies? I want to see that in the comments as well. Then hit that like and subscribe button to catch all of our upcoming videos.
Until then, this is Car Ray Rob. I'm Ray.
I'm Rob. Put it away, son. It's not worth you getting beat again.
You didn't beat me. You ignored the rules of engagement. In a fair fight, I'd kill you.
Then that's not much incentive for me to fight fair then, is it?